So I already moisturized my skin. I'm going to go in with my Too Faced Hangover primer. And take a little bit of that and put it on my face. So yeah, I'm a little nervous because I'm not used to recording myself do my makeup. But it was always a goal of mine to start a YouTube channel. So here we are. So yeah, you just want to put that all over your face, kind of like lotion, but you want to try to pat it in to the skin. And this is more, it's a primer, but I think it's like more of a moisturizer. So I'm going to go in with this LA Girl primer, and this really helps your face to feel like smooth, like a smooth base before your foundation. So I'm going to take some of that and focus it. It's not really mattifying, but I have dry skin, so I really don't get too oily except for in my T-zone, and that's only, you know, like depending. I'm really dry, girl. I'm a dry face hoe. But I'm gonna show y'all how to go from crusty and dusty to Instagram baddie, okay? Okay. So yeah, got that on, and I already did my brows off camera just because I'm just trying to get the hang of this, and I don't want this video to be too long. I'm aiming for like 10-12 minutes. So yeah, let's get going. I'm gonna be using the Maybelline New York 24-hour foundation in the shade 360 Mocha, and I'm gonna mix it with the Covergirl True Blend Matte Made in the shade D80. And I just mixed these two. These are both in the drugstore, and they're bomb. You don't have to spend a whole lot of money, you know, on foundation. Even though I do have, you know, some high-end stuff, I still like my drugstore stuff. So I just got it on the back of my hand, and I mix them together, and I'm using a Real Techniques brush, and just gonna put that all over. And when you're putting on your foundation, you don't really want to buff it in. You want to more so tap it in, and that's how you're gonna get a full coverage. And you just want to put that all over. Don't forget your forehead. And I like this foundation because it is matte and it is full coverage. And you see how already with just that little bit, I did 1 pump of the D80, which was the darker shade, and 2 pumps of the Maybelline. And you don't want to forget, like, by your ears, and blend it down to your neck. And, you know, when you're just starting off, you go to the drugstore and you buy what works. I know Walmart has a return policy. So, like, if it don't work for you, keep the receipt and take it back, you know. If you don't have money to, you know, afford Sephora and stuff like that, start at the drugstore. Maybelline and Covergirl have good, you know, products for all skin types. And you just want to buff that in. And I have a mirror over here, so I think it's a little light. Turn the brightness down a little bit so y'all could get, yeah, see, just looks like skin. Now you can go in and put another layer on, but I like how this coat did for me. Just want to make sure, you know, and around your eyebrows, you just want to be careful. I don't know how people do their eyebrows after foundation, people like that, or people who do their eyeshadow before foundation, but we're blended. See how that's just how that made a difference already. Okay, for concealer, I'm going to use the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind, and you can get this at Target, Walmart, CVS. This is the shade Hazelnut, and it's like a wand. You wind it up, and I'm just going to put it, you know, under my eyes, kind of in a V shape. And it's got like an orangey golden color, and my undertone is like yellow golden, so I do like that. And the orange does help cancel out the darkness. And then you just want to make lightly up your nose, a little bit on your cupid's bow, a little bit on your chin, and a little bit on your forehead. And this really isn't too bright for concealer. You want to go 1 to 2 shades darker than your skin tone, but I do like a bright under eye. So I'm going to take this Colourpop No Filter Concealer in Dark 48. You can get this at colourpop.com or Ulta. And this is just a little brighter, like a little yellower. And because I do like a little brighter of an under eye. And I used to do my concealer and stuff with where's the brush? With a beauty blender or a sponge. I have the Real Technique sponge. My beauty blender is dirty, but I've been using a brush lately. My girls got me these brushes, Real Technique brushes for Christmas. How cute. They're so sweet. But I've been using a brush lately because, you know, the purpose of concealer is to conceal. Is to cover up the dark circles and, you know, the bags under your eye. And I feel like when you use a beauty blender, just like with the foundation, I used to use the blender too for that. But I feel like when you do that, it takes away the coverage. It shears it out. And I want all the coverage. I want to cover, you know, my bag. So if you don't need that much coverage, you know, or you want a more skin-like look, or like a medium, light to medium coverage, yeah, I think the beauty blender is okay. But for full coverage, if you want everything to be covered and concealed, I prefer to use a brush. That's just me personally. Or I'll do it like this, and then I'll use the beauty blender after, but I'll start with a brush. And the key is just to blend everything out. And it's gonna take some time. It's gonna take a lot of practice. It took me a lot of practice to get to where I am now with makeup, and there's still things and tips and tricks and things I can learn, you know, but it takes practice, it takes time, but you gotta mess up. But that's why you need friends, sis. You need friends to tell you when you out here looking crazy. So you see what I did? I blended most of it out with the brush, but then I switched to this and I'm like blending out the edges because I do like that highlighted look. You don't want to blend it all the way away because then what's the point of putting it on? But you do want to blend out the edges, and you do want to blend it out so it's like no harsh lines and you don't look crazy. But just watch what I'm doing and you'll see. Because I do like for under the eyes to look bright. And you just blend this. And that's why guys be saying, you know, they don't like makeup. Makeup can look very natural, you know. It can. It's just about the way that you apply it. Same with wigs. Wigs can look natural too. It's just about the way that you apply them. And you got to learn how to finesse it. That's all you're doing is just, you know, in the crease. Getting the crease up under the eyes. And yeah, you see how it's blended, but I still have a highlighted look. Okay, and then you always, after you apply concealer, you always want to go in and set, and I'm going to use the Laura Mercier translucent medium deep, and I just like this because it's not too bright. It's not going to give you any flashback. I know people that swear by the translucent powder, but just not for me. So I took it on that sponge, and you want to dust off the extra and just apply it under your eye. Or you're going to put it everywhere that you put that concealer. And I just dab it in until it disappears. But you don't want to put too much. And I always make that dumb face. Same thing with when I'm doing, you know, mascara. You always the dumbass faces. And you could put it all over your eyelids. And then you want to take a little bit up your nose on your Cupid's bow. And when you're highlighting, you're just bringing hot, you know, color back into your face, you know. So, because you just put that foundation on, which is supposed to, it's like the same color as your skin. This is just gonna brighten up under your eyes and everywhere where the sun hits you, so you know, you glow. You want to glow. Then I'm just gonna dust it off with a fluffy brush. This is also a Real Technique brush. Dust it off. You don't want to be looking crazy and ashy. You dust it off. Okay. Now that we got that, it's time to contour. And I'm going to be using this CoverGirl Queen Collection bronzer in Ebony Bronze. And this was real popular back in the day, sis. You got to search high and low. I think I got this one from Amazon. Sometimes Target and Walmart carry it, but it's like it be disappearing and it'll be out of stock and you can't find it. But it's a bomb, like, color for chocolate skin. And I'm going to take that on. This is a BH Cosmetic brush. You see it's kind of angled. And you want to suck your cheek in. And you see this right here. We naturally already kind of have contour. You know, it's your cheekbones, or you see how, like, it's naturally dark right there. I'm just enhancing that and sculpting out my face. And you kind of want to buff it in, because you don't want to just look like you have like a harsh line. So you want to go in circular motions and kind of blend it. Okay. You want to put it, you know, a little bit on your jawline just to bring some more dimension up in here in your forehead. You know, it's just gonna give your face some depth. Okay. And see, that's not harsh. Okay. Then we're going to take a powder for all over your face. And this is the Sephora Micro Smooth and Deep. And you're going to take that on like a fluffy brush. And you're just going to set all over so that everything stays in place. And this is just going to blend everything together. And if ever your under eye from the powder is a little too bright, you do this to just blend everything together. Just dust it and buff it, you know, into the skin and all over. Very pretty. I'm gonna take that. I didn't contour my nose, and so I'm gonna take a little bit of this, and I like to put it on my eyelids just as a, you know, just to give some color. Like when I'm not doing any eyeshadow, which I rarely do. I only do eyeshadow like on special occasions. So see how it just, you know, warms up your eye. So that's another trick. You can take bronzer and kind of use it as a shadow, like a one color. If you want it, you could put like a glitter on top of this, but I'm not doing all of that. This is just like a everyday, you know, going to work or going to school. See how pretty and simple. And then you take an even smaller brush and you bring it from from your eye, and then you bring it down. Like this, you know, the side of your nose to contour your nose. So start at your eye and then bring it down. And then you just have to make sure that you blend that in good. And then I like to take the Beauty Blender and blend it even more. So it's like there, but not really. Okay, so we've done foundation, we've done concealer, we've done contour. Now it's time for highlight. And to highlight, I'm gonna use 2 highlighters. I'm gonna use this Wet n Wild Crown of My Canopy highlighter. It's like a pretty rose gold, and I'm gonna mix it with the Ruby Kisses All Over Glow Bronze Glow. This is like a dupe for a MAC highlighter. So I'm gonna take that on this highlighting brush that I got from eBay. It's like a dupe for a Sigma brush. I think it's F35. And you're just gonna tap it, tap the extra off, and you're gonna apply the highlighter to the highest point of your cheek. In like a C motion. So come up here on your temple a little bit, in like a C motion. See? Very pretty. And then I like to layer my highlighter, so I'm gonna take that Wet n Wild Crown of My Canopy and just add a little bit of that too. And see, look at the glow. Pretty. Same thing to this side. And then if it looks like a little too much, you go in with a clean brush and just dust some of it off. So just to blend it and so that it's not too intense. But there's a light shining on me on this side, so that could be why this side is looking like down. Sorry, I just keep having to adjust the light. But see, sis, we glowing, okay? And you take a little bit of this and your cubic bow right above your lip, and then just a little bit the bridge of your nose. And if you ever feel like you have too much, you just blend it in. Why is this light doing this? I'm sorry, y'all. So you see, now we're all highlighted. Okay. I'm just gonna apply a coat of mascara. I'm gonna put some lashes on off camera and I'll be right back. Okay, then I'm gonna take this Makeup Forever. It's called Color Rouge Artist Natural N4. It's like a nudie color, and just use it to fill in my lip. And then I'm gonna take that pencil and go back over. Okay, and then I'm going to take my Buxom lip gloss in the color Sandy. Okay. Last thing I'm going to do is take my NYX matte finishing spray and cover my eyes. And yeah, this is the finished look. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.